Hello everyone, it's Cookies back with, this time with a new sub experience into EA Vanheim. You'll notice my pretender is a pretty funny name, but this should be a fairly interesting game. It'll start off fairly slow. I'm going to spend a number of turns consolidating and building up, but eventually the action should really kick in. I'll make sure to clearly mark that episode so that you can skip right to it. Anyways, here we go. We have a number of events this turn. We're starting really late summer of year 6, so definitely just jumping straight into the late game. We have a couple of Infernal Tempest casts to get some Storm Demons. We've got this battle in Aquesta. Where we have a Elder Cyclops Thug with a Scutata Volturna, a Firebrand, Armor of Knights, and Dancing Trident. So pretty scary stats and pretty scary paths. You can do Phoenix Pyre, Mist Form, Iron Skin, Temper Flesh, all sorts of good buffs. And on this side we have what looks like a patrolling force from Vanheim. So I have a feeling I'm going to lose most of these troops. I am coming back to record this, but I'll try to not share too much about future turns, just so there's a little bit of interest in the current one. So we can see he's got Iron Skin off, so he's got near 30 protection. And he's just gonna keep on killing these Draconians who they have 12 attack, so they're gonna hit this guy like sometimes. The biggest problem is just trying to punch through that protection, which on a 20 damage bite is possible, but it's just going to be tough, and it might be chip damage, but maybe the poison will help. Because these guys have a bite with a weak poison, but this guy has no poison resistance, so it'll be effective. And these archers have to be some of the worst archers, because they're hitting everyone but the Cyclops, it seems like. So 10 precision, not even that far away, they seem to be pretty bad. It's a lot of these guys killing themselves on the fire shield that he's cast, which does 11 armor piercing, in addition to the firebrand he's carrying. Right, and you see he kind of takes care of things, but he does have this poison. He misforms. And he manages to recover from the poison. So he's picked up a couple of afflictions, but he survives with 6 HP. So he's got a chest wound now, which is going to really fatigue him up through his buff script. And he has Never Healing Wound, which will make him a little bit easier to chip damage down. And then here we have a scout watching TNN storm the capital of Mekone. So apparently and this is one of the things I learned when I joined this, was that I was allied with TNN, and we were both eating Mekone together. So let's see how this storm goes. We have a legitimate storm while storming the castle. whole bunch of these Sacred Tuatha warriors with their golden spears. A number of big-time mages. Now, notably, this prophet only has 4 HP because of the strong enemy dominion. So it might die before it can use all these earth gems. We have a number of additional big casters like this Earth King. Who's a Bloodstone, so he's Earth 6 with more earth gems. And this guy with a Tempest and a Pocket Knight and a box of monsters. A whole bunch of Tuatha. What else is here? Some big bunch of gems, maybe some air elementals, who knows? Some other big buffs. We have these guys with a 27 damage bronze discus, which will really hurt anyone it hits. And then back here, we have the Statue of Fertility, Earth 4, Astral 4, Nature 4, with the Elder Cyclops, who's Fire 3 with a bunch of gems. And maybe that's it for the fancy gear. We have a Dwarven Hammer on one of the guys. And some fire snakes. So let's see how it goes. Now we've had a lot of magic go off here. So let me see. What was it? If you do shift question mark, you can bring up the hotkeys for a particular menu. So plus and minus to scroll. What was it? The scroll battle log? Yeah, should be plus and minus. Interesting. Ah, there we go. Alright, so we have Thunder Ward, we have some Thunder Strikes, Army of Giants, whole bunch of Thunder Strikes, Foul Vapors, Mass Protection, cast by... Alright. So yeah, we have a number of big spells. Here's Foul Vapors, we have Storm, some Magma Eruptions, this is probably good. We have Firestorm now. Code's going to do his best to kill as many of these Tuatha as he can while going down. Legions of Steel. So we see a lot of these guys have 20 protection now, along with Weapons of Sharpness. This one's running off. If that Prophet might have died. Some Sparte coming out to try and hold the line. Heal and Healing Mist. Really good in this particular situation. Keep people from dying to the damage over time. And we also have Howl cast. So Firestorm is probably lessened a lot by the rain, but it's still doing damage. Flame Eruption. And watch these Tuatha clean up. And as we can see, even with 31 protection, the Tuatha, with their weapons of sharpness, are going to easily be able to cut through that. So they should be able to kill this pretty quickly. Though not before it casts Gifts of Heaven. And there we go. So the ledger for that one. Tiernan loses 3 mages. Looks like the Warrior Queen survives. And everything from Mekone dies. Still lost 37 Tuatha and 24 She warriors. Not very good at Celtic, but yeah, solid victory for TNN. And then we get into some of my events. So I've got a little bit of a blood economy here. Some undead have arrived. I don't think I've ever gotten this event. This is interesting. The Sage got Astral Magic +1. And then the undefended province was conquered by the undead. Alright, so as we dip into the turn, we have Vanheim here. We have control over 2 thrones, but both of them are not claimed. We also have, I think, 2 forts under siege, it looks like, that we need to break the siege off of, and then ideally we also want to free this province soon. Get this gem income back. Now the previous player said I was allied with TNN. Oh, I'm under siege down here too. So under siege in 3 forts. So we see TNN here. We see an Atlantis fort here. TNN stretches all the way around. And then from talking with the other players, I found out Agartha was over here. Yep. And something kind of interesting that we know of is a lot of these coastal forts aren't forted. So it really kind of makes Atlantis particularly dangerous for a throne rush. So hopefully we can get those forted. You can see here I'm trying to break siege. I've got some troops coming down to reinforce this area because it looks like it's been newly conquered, but there's no infrastructure here and there's some independence kind of in the area, so I want to secure this area. And then we've got Yomi, who apparently stretches from here to here. So Yomi is massive. And what I'd been told was I had nat 3s with both Yomi and TNN. So I don't, like, when I first loaded into this game, I was very scared of Atlantis because there's a lot of water on the map. And I was also very scared of Yomi because they control this whole island. And I essentially have 2 borders with them, one very big one and one smaller one. Whereas they only have 1 small border with TNN. So I make a natural target for Yomi. And with the throne situation, Yomi's got 5 thrones here. and one of them is a 3-point throne, and I don't know at this time if he has another 3-point throne in this list, but if he were to invade me and take these 2 thrones, I also control a 3-point throne, the Throne of Elements. So if he were to just invade this little region, there might be a chance he just wins the game. Looking further into this, some other things I just thought were noteworthy is I have most of my power base is here near the capital, but the hold over the thrones is particularly tenuous. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to start shifting a lot of troops south to try and shore up the defense of these thrones, and to shore up my 2 biggest income, or probably 3 of my bigger income provinces, which is Lightport, Rus, and Niflheim. Because despite having national blood mages, this particular build didn't take growth. So a lot of these provinces out here are really depopulated. There's a couple of good ones still, but a lot of them are depopulated, including the forts. Some other things I noticed. The capital here in Vanheim has Pazuzu in it, and he's a Reaper 10. So he's killing off tons of population that I can't get back. So the first thing I'm going to do, apparently, is send him over here, because I'm thinking this might be a good place to stash him. But eventually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move him elsewhere. And then also, some of the sites are really interesting. So for instance, I have a library here, and a Citadel of Lore Masters here. We also get access to Sorcerers of the Sand, which, considering the Well of Pestilence, I can understand why you never bothered to get them. Considering a lot of these paths are already kind of covered by the dwarves. Also, over here, we have the Crystal Citadel for Crystal Mages, and it's a Crystal Amazon province. So you just get all the crystal things here. Another thing I'll notice is the previous player never took advantage of this Banefire Forge. So this is going to be one of my priorities as soon as I can afford it, is to fort up this province and move item construction here. In addition, we have a Devil's Den here, which has 15 unrest generation, so I'm going to make sure to get the Devil per turn, because that's free. But also, I'm planning to blood hunt this province into the ground, because a lot of these people are going to die from, I don't know, like the unrest generation anyways. Additionally, we've got some groups here that are going to break the sieges on these forts. So we've got a bunch of air elementals for this guy, and then I've also got trolls and devils and whatnot for this fort. I want to make sure I free up these thrones. And I'm going to break siege here with storm demons and Vanheirs. I think this turn also might have been the turn that Mekone goes AI. So he's never really going to make use of or raid from this fort. But nevertheless, I'm trying to get some troops down here to protect it. One of the things that makes this map particularly challenging is the geography with a cold dominion. So we've got lots of mountain passes. Particularly getting through here can get tricky. Like to go from here to here, you kind of have to go all the way down and around and through, because there's mountain passes blocking just about everything. So it's this weird snaking path to make it through the mountain pass to get down here. Additionally, for some of these big guys. I notice I have huge gem banks, so I'm probably going to start using this. I realize he was probably saving them for globals, but the nation for turn 77 feels really underpowered right now. So I'm just going to try and get a lot of mages and a lot of different pathed mages so I can start doing late game things. Additionally, I noticed like I've got these wood hinge druids that are base nature 2, like a lot of them. So I don't know if the previous player empowered some mages. I think he did a couple, but maybe some of them were events as well. Here's the Pretender with Aspiring Researcher and notably no death path, but has some other really good paths, can make, can forge a lot of things. And then, yeah, and I've started building a palisade here. Or no, it was already under construction because it was high population next to a throne. So, somewhat dangerous to build this way. But with Yomi putting the fort under siege, and I have a nap through with Yomi, was probably reasonably safe to build. In terms of globals, we have no global representation. It's TNN with Gift of Health and Mother Oak, Yomi with End of Culture and Eternal Pyre, Atlantis with Earthblood Deepwell and Maelstrom. So a lot of gem gens in here, except for End of Culture and Gift of Health. End of Culture, I'll find out pretty quickly, gives Yomi an insane number of troops. But, yeah. So this turn's just kind of reorganizing a lot of things, moving a lot of things around. Additionally, in terms of research, we've got Conjuration 8 with only a few hundred points left, so I might as well finish it out. We also inherit Construction 9 and Blood Magic 9. So I guess we built a couple, we do have a couple of these Iron Dragons, but that's all I've noticed out of all of this, so seems like that was a waste of research. Notably, we're only enchantment 3, so we apparently the previous player fought all of his wars without Cloud Trapeze. So that's priority number 1 for me right now, is to get that Cloud Trapeze out, along with Evo 5, which has Storm. So some of the really basic, like Storm, Wrathful Skies, really basic, I guess like Vanheim magic is not online yet. Now, I don't see that I've put Storm in here, but it's because I'm winding down a war, so maybe I think I'm going more for Arrowfend. And just a lot of the other things that are in here. But I think maybe I probably should have gone for Storm and Wrathful Skies first. I know Horde of Skeletons was high on my list, because that is something I can do, and I wanted to be able to also Foul Vapors people, which isn't normally something Vanheim can do, but I did notice I had 2 sites, not just 1, for recruiting enchantresses. So, and I'm gonna prophetize the National Hero, because it's a highly mobile 26 map move flying hero that I can make a profit and make sure Solvis can get wherever she needs to be. So, but yeah, definitely just jumping into the middle of a big late game, and hopefully we'll see how it goes. It'll be my first late game. And so I'll catch you on the next one in turn 78. We'll see how some of these break sieges go. Bye.